Welcome to CDL Sunday. Boy, it feels good to say that. A little weird, albeit still we're at home. But hey, it feels fantastic to be here. My name is Miles Ross. I'll be one of the commentators guiding you through today, alongside my beautiful colleague. He's there, or he's there. I haven't quite worked that one out yet, but it's Momo PW7. Philip Whitfield, how you doing, brother?
I'm very well. I figured out that if I turn to my right, that is where you will be. I'm guessing if you turn to your left, I honestly don't know. I put a shirt on today. We've somehow matched in colour, which is fantastic. We're down to our Final Four, our Fantastic Four. It's going to be incredible, and what a game to kick things off. We've got Florida, Chicago, we've got storylines, we've got revenge match. Nameless and Lottie kind of broke all that down just beforehand. But yeah, I think we can have a fist bump as just, you know, I go right, you go left. We can do this,
I think I'll go left. I think I go left. You know what, mate? Let's just give this one a roll for a moment. We do have a fantastic match ahead of us. Let's have a quick look at the Chicago Huntsmen, one of our teams today.
He's going to get caught, but they line up for Scup. And Scup, the king.
This is dangerous.
10 in a row. Gunless keeps on rolling. 9. Formal hits the shot. Octane doesn't have to move. He goes, oh my lord!
You know them, you love them. They're in almost every, top 4 we've seen so far in tournament placings so far. But you know what? This is the thing. Their opponents are the first team, Phil, to actually take a series from them and push them outside of a final. So that is going to be something very interesting to see if we get a bit of a rematch coming up here at this semi.
I mean, you're definitely going to get a rematch. You're going to get revenge is the question. And I think there is certainly a favourite going into this, but you can't hide away from the fact that last time these guys met up, it was the Atlanta semi-finals, I believe. And Florida, they beat them. They did have a different roster. That being Prestini, of course, the twin brother of RC. You can see him there having a little dance on stream. He's vibing this morning. He's having a good time, and I'm excited to see what he brings. He was having a great series yesterday. And again, just kind of moving forward, you talked about the top 4 miles. These guys are in everyone's top 3, top 2. Some people will say they're the best team in the game right now. But versus the Mutineers, it's an underrated team, and I think, and a new team which have a lot of firepower.
It does have a ton of firepower. Speaking of that new team that we're going up against, ladies and gentlemen, that will be the Florida Mutineers.
Thousands and thousands of hours of hard work lead to this moment.
The Mutineers will go in with a small lead. The Mutineers will have the advantage.
Now they're on your point. Look how close it is, Joe. A millimeter.
What a round! What a round!
A slight change to the roster, but a very formidable team nonetheless. They did have a bit of a journey getting here, but nonetheless, they've made it. And a rematch against the Chicago Huntsmen is not probably the team they wanted to face, but it's the one they've got right now. The Mutineers, though, they have looked formidable online. We have talked enough about Pharaoh, the newest addition to the squad, replacing Prestini, who's now sitting on the bench, watching from home. Preston, we hope you're doing great, mate, and we look forward to seeing you soon, whether it's in Warzone on your own stream or back here in the CDL. But nonetheless, the team has been looking good, Phil. It's a well-rounded unit. It's all fine.
It's a great team, honestly. I think these guys are still finding their feet. They're not at 100% for their capability, not as many team, but I think these guys are still learning how to play with Pharaoh, and mainly in the respawns. But, I was talking on social media to some of the guys who were trolling, saying Maniac's coming in for Skies, and Skies was saying, what if Bose jumps in for Huntsman? Like, there is some storylines to be made here. However, we've got our core 5, of course. Plenty of great substitutes. You got General, of course, for the Huntsman as well. Coaches in Sender. There's so many people involved in both teams. But this is another semi-final, Miles. It's Dallas. It ain't Atlanta. I am leaning towards the Huntsmen. They've looked fantastic all weekend long. They are kind of picked to be in that grand final, and I think it's going to be a super hard challenge for the Mutineers to overcome.
I think you're right. The biggest concern I have for the Mutineers is the respawns. Their search and destroys were, funny enough, was something that I saw them struggling against other teams. Of course, we saw Toronto 6-0 them. And Nameless brought this up in the pre-show again, which was that you are going to be leaning towards the Huntsmen, definitely when it comes to the respawn game modes. But I think that Florida has a shot here. I think they do have a chance. The bigger concern is, are they going to find another 6-0? Does the Huntsman have what it takes to cut them out entirely there in the search and destroys? But, hey man, we'll see how we go. Let's get into this one. Our first semi-final of the day here at the Dallas Home Series online, coming at you live across the entire country of the United States of America. I don't know where the entire production crew is, but I think we're touching a lot of states right now, friends. Let's get into this one. Formal on your screen, running an AR of all things. There's a bit of a change up again. He was running the MP5 exclusively yesterday. Things seem to have changed. Off we go to the races now. This first hard point, as always, Phil, a bloodbath.
Yeah, it's interesting, obviously, touching on that assault rifle thing as we see both teams battle for the middle, and we'll, of course, break that down shortly for you. But Formal, obviously, has been notoriously way more comfortable with an M4. He's been given a challenge in the fact that, you know, maybe he has to run an MP5 on some maps. But there are some maps and mode combinations where they can get away with running 2 ARs. And when that's Formal and Arstees, it's going to be very hard to push back. And whether they'll lack the pressure of not having that third submachine gun, or fourth, should I say, in this case, we'll have to wait and see for that. But on your screen, we are looking at none other than Seth Thistle, of course, Scump here. He had a phenomenal game yesterday. I believe it was 45 that he dropped. He's got 3 to his name already this game over the last 15 seconds. Rotation looks like it's going to be favouring Mutineers here. But Pharaoh gets his 5th kill in a row, 6 of the game.
Yeah, there you go, 6 kills in a row. We talked about Arstees a little bit as well. His twin brother, Pristini, sitting on the bench for the Mutineers right now. A little bit of love-hate there, and of course, nothing but competitive vibes. The second hard point now of Gunrunner underway. This is going to, of course, be right-hand side of the map, now in the hands of Mutineers. Florida have lost a man up top, though. That was going to be Skies. Now it falls down to the players down low. Trying to lock down the doorways. Havoc trying to find a bit of an opening here on the outside of the map, and he does. He pushes around the back. Scump, though, however, manages to clean up the pair of them. So that means the back door is wide open. Scumpy now in a position where he can actually make this play in from behind. Cleans up Frosty from upstairs. Nice shots, and here we go. Scump continues the run. 4 kills in a row, and a solid break now from the Huntsmen. They've got 1 player left, cleaned out. There we go. It's Chicago side point.
Yeah, Chicago break that with 20 seconds left. And of course, keep your eyes on that minimap. The rotation towards the cars will be going down very shortly. We're going to see Frosty drop to Scum. Envoy takes out Havoc. Sky's battling for that final 15. He isn't going to get it. I was going to say he's going to be rewarded with it, but Gunless going tooth and nail for these final points here. Quick check on that rotation. There's 1 player, and that 1 player being Morks just in and amongst the boxes, but he's going to be taken out by Formal's MP5. Who'd have thought it? 2020, it's wild.
2020 is wild indeed. Over towards our third half. We are going to see beelining it across, but not quite making anything. Envoy, another player we've highlighted incredibly well recently. This Dallas Home Series, he's been a standout player. In the search and destroys. In the hard point, Formal finds his first hip fire. Can't get Morks though, as his MP5 gets the job done there. Ends up long line of sight. That assault rifle sadly cut down in a hail of gunfire there. Morks makes his 3rd kill known well and truly, and he may be able to find a few more as the push now from Florida has been quite decisive. They're managing to push everyone from Chicago back out of boxes, Phil.
Yeah, certainly so, and I tell you what, with a 30-point lead, it's a good way to start here. Gunless finds another double, as does Envoy. Quick stat update for you, of course, going into, CDL Sunday here. Sky is the player really to watch. He's number 2 on the leaderboard of 40 players, of course, up at 1.27. But just behind him, at number 6, is Arstees. Again, they're the kind of the standout ones in the slaying department. It's, of course, going to be around 4 players. And they do it up against each other, of course. Still 50 points to go on this hard point. Huntsman in control. Formal dropping 12 and 8. 13 and 9 for Envoy. And honestly, Envoy's been playing incredible all weekend long. He could be looking at another MVP like performance this weekend.
Shipping containers as they lock down the remainder of the rotation as well. They're winning the gunfight, so this is looking like a solid chunk of time for the Chicago Huntsmen. It's on your screen. The cover is still there. Hard point is still in the hands of Chicago for now. It's a bit of a point. Pharaoh trying to cut those players out through mid as they now transition across the map once again to that left-hand side to the warehouse, the final hard point in our rotation. It does look like Florida's initially, but the Huntsman breaks have been very clean. Can they hold on?
That is a really good point, Miles. Again, it kind of the way that this team breaks, it seems almost effortless at times. And let's just have a look at it here. 4 or 5 players now set up for Florida. They're pushed out in the right places here. Havoc's going to go down. Pharaoh falls as well. That's going to be to Scum. Arsenal Gunless picked up the kill. And I said it was at ease. It just looks like taking candy from a baby. Florida, they're spawning out. It shouldn't be that easy, Miles. It shouldn't.
So easy. That did not look like a challenge whatsoever for them. They've reversed the roles immediately. Now you have to see Florida attempt to make the break. Envoy up top, Scump watching the doggy door down low, and this is what you want to be seeing. Communication flowing. RCTs with multiple kills. Envoy locks down the boxes side. This is brilliant stuff from the Huntsmen. This is absolutely clinical hardpoint gameplay. You break the hardpoint, you force the enemy team to spawn out, and then you hold it down for a solid chunk of time. 140 seconds and climbing as Envoy keeps the kills going. His 6th kill in a row. That is 20 and 12. Disgusting stuff from the Huntsmen.
I mean, Envoy known for his S&D this tournament, sitting at the #1 search and destroy KD 2.6. Right now, it's respawn dominance here from him. As you said, points out 20 kills, 12 deaths, incredible stuff all around. He's on a 6-kill streak, but Miles' most objective kill time as well. Not only on his team, but across the board. Trying to get 1 second of kill time, trying to get in and amongst the kills. But all he's finding is death after death, it seems. Destruction for the Huntsmen. It's a one-sided affair so far, and I pointed out Skies. He was the X-Factor in the hardpoint. He was the one to really slay out, and right now you can look at the stats. Numbers don't lie.
They're not lying whatsoever. Slow starts for Smorks and Skies. See, though, this was the same sort of scenario we saw when they played each other in Atlanta. It was reverse sweep. The Huntsmen took an early lead before falling. Can they repeat it here, though? I mean, this is a very commanding scoreline. The pressure is certainly being felt right now as the Huntsmen just cut swathes. They rip and tear across the map. That first hard point is almost done and dusted as we move over towards the second Huntsman. They may not be in their first in best dress, but you can bet they're going to charge through and break it as they always have done. Here we go, though. Can history repeat itself twice? We saw Scumpy pick up 3 kills for Nay on the back and make the break. And oh, good golly, Miss Molly. He's going to do it again, Phil. Here we go. On the back, finds one. He's going to keep going.
He just keeps going, and again, it just seems like the norm almost for them not to win the rotation and just brute force, knock down the doors, and take back what seems to be theirs. But for the first time in what seems forever, it is going to be Flora holding on to a hard point. Morks with the MP5, finding a nice double. That's going to be 12th kill of the game, and now trying to close that gap. They're down by 115. But with 25 points, this is where Chicago, they've got a lot of leeway, a lot to play with here. So they can give this up. They can rotate early. Formula on your screen, just going around the boxes. Arsty's set up, watching that forest as well. And it looks very comfortable here. But can Florida do what Huntsman did? Can they just brute force, knock down those doors, and take back this warehouse?
Yeah, shoes on the other foot now. Will the Huntsmen be able to hold the push? They've not really been in the first in these rotations previously. They've managed to break it on the first time. And now, as the kills start flying through, Floridians have cut their way across mid-map, slaying their hearts out. Now they meet the fortified position here of the hardpoint, being handled still by the Huntsmen. And the kills have worked out, but they have managed to find a weakness. They have managed to find the hole there. Down that main ramp, they've broken through. Florida has the hardpoint. Florida with control for now. Havoc hopping and skipping across the map finds himself 2. His 3rd kill in a row now, but you have to watch that scoreboard though. 30 seconds remain with this hardpoint. We have to see Florida do this again and again to reach that 200 point mark and eventually win it if possible.
They have to do a lot here. The 120-point lead, though, has gone down to just 75. We've seen some strong stuff coming out of the Mutineers in the last minute. Can they keep it up? We're going to be rotating over, of course, to the crates, and we see first, or is going to be Frosty, but interesting enough, Sky's still locking down that hard point, and now the cutoff. This could be looking nice for Frosty here. He's got the whole boiler room, the whole map as well, and they're fighting for what is actually 1 second, it looked like. Maybe a little lack of concentration here as we do see this change hands, and we are going to see the Mutineers take control, of course, at the next half.
Yeah, they were basically trapped there in pipes. Now we go right over the shipping containers, as you said. He's managed to transfer down to the positive trading department, but that hardpoint time is really what we're looking for now. Solid work. The Huntsmen have not been able to get a whole lot of hardpoint time. In the last few sets, they were stuck at 200 before minecart started, and now they're only at 201. Here comes the push. The Huntsmen trying to make something happen there. Envoy breaks in, finds Skies. He can't get the second as well, though, but Morks, big shots, not quite enough. And a great run there from Formal. 3 kills. Havoc getting caught on the reload. He's now been put to bed. 3 kills for Formal. Now you've got a solid chunk of time able to be grabbed here. And it looks, it's uncontested for the Huntsmen.
Yeah, and this is Arsty's basically dealing with the whole of the Mutineers. He's saying, come at me. I'm ready for you. I've got a power position and you ain't going anywhere. They're going to swoop up the last 10 or 15 seconds and hit roughly around 230. 20 points is all they need, and they've broken this hard point already once before. 29 kills for Formal, looking to breach into the 30s, but so is everyone else. The slaying side of things across the board is there for the Huntsmen. However, 1 break is what they need, and sneaky, it's Envoy up top. Good night, Skies, as they push around the back. They've got to try and flip these spawns.
Get that control and Envoy. Once more, only 11 bullets left, but it seems like he only needs 3 or 4 for a kill. There's another for Envoy. A quick reload. He'll be looking for Skies as well. Ain't gonna happen. But the hard point is in the hands of the Huntsmen. And again, it goes back and forth. But the Floridians are not giving up.
That was a break and a half once again, but yeah, you're right, Florida's not given up. They didn't concede enough kills to lose the spawns, so now you've got another chance at holding on the time. Chicago, one more swing, and here we go. Guns in from behind. That's a big shot to get it done. The second kill goes his way. Havoc, though, in from the boxes. He finds 2 straight off the rip, and now we're going to continue the pressure. Havoc is still going. Florida hasn't given up the hard point yet, but now you've got to rotate. Now you go back to mid-map. You have to win all your engagements, which so far so good, and control spawns for the second hard point.
I mean,
so Florida, it's got to be perfect. It's got to be perfect.
It's got to be perfect. A heavy hitting hard point from Havoc, though, 33 and 35. Just the sheer amount of interactions is impressive alone. But can he step it up once more? Can he go even bigger for his squad? Down by 35 points now. Trying to break on it. The Huntsmen, they can win it here. So again, early rotation is not acceptable for Florida. They've got to challenge this, Miles.
Now Pharaoh tries to make it through mid. Austin can bang it out, make this place happen. A couple more kills, and you see the Huntsmen now on the point. Now you got to go, Florida. It's do or die time. You've let enough time slip, but this time is going to be absolutely crucial for the win there. Nice job from Havoc. Gets that kill. Arsty's now in a position to clean these players up. He can jump on it now and potentially win it for his team. They still have to worry about that next 20 seconds, though. This is going to be big. Huntsmen are back on the point. The gunfight's still going through. There's 2 seconds for the win now, and there it is. Straight on the point. The Huntsmen go. They... Whoa, it's not over yet. 1 second left. Gunless. He will net that final crucial point. And it was a drama-laden hard point to start the series off here, but the Huntsmen reign supreme, 250 to 199.
Incredible hard point. It started off so one-sided, and you kind of said how this was what happened in the previous episode almost, but that one was on his ear cave. It was like a 9-point game. This one was looking so much more convincing, dominating, if you like, from Huntsmen. But again, Mutineers, they put up a fight, but it's not going to be enough.
Whew, good hard point, though. Nice plays either side. I mean, the breaks there coming out of the Huntsmen were so clean. It was interesting to note, though, if the first break didn't succeed, they basically had a bit of trouble sort of getting back to that one. But still, very, very exciting stuff. And as you can see, the teams on your screen there, everyone's looking pretty chill. Everyone's looking kind of, you know, composed at this point in time as the tournament gets more and more serious. Now in the semi-finals, it's 1 best of 5, and then you're done, my friends. Anyway, Phil, let's have a quick look at the Grubhub picks of the day. We've done this on every day so far. You and I have had our picks of players we've been excited to watch, whether that's for our own nefarious reasons. Let's be honest, mate. I think I picked Envoy because he's a bloody unit. I can't remember who you picked. Who did you choose?
I picked Skies, and I think it was because, I mean, you picked someone from Chicago. I wanted to pick someone from Florida to kind of have that head-to-head. And I think these are 2 players which are very different. First of all, Envoy is that kind of hard-hitting assault rifle player who I feel is a very well-rounded player, you know, from mode to mode. That goes for Envoy, though, as well. I mean, not to just jump on your bandwagon, but this guy does it all, both hardpoint, search and destroy, domination. He's just kind of a sheer amount of talent in one little kid, you know, frying as it seems.
Frying as it seems, and we both play with a Scuff Impact, so how about that, mate? We both
use
the same kind of controller. Not a lot of people do, actually. You know, I in the pro scene, as far as I'm aware, and he's one of my faves, so I love that.
Hero, is he?
We both have big, manly hands. I think that's what we're going here. Don't forget, of course, that Grubhub, if you spend $30 or more, you get $10 off. Don't forget to check the perks section of the app from 5 p.m. till 9 p.m. Boy, howdy, what a good day this has been already, Phil. We've only had 1 game. We do have our Scuff player of the game coming up as well in just a moment, mate. Any guesses to who it may be, Phil?
I think you might have won this one as you picked Envoy. Envoy absolutely frying there. 75. Let's focus on the Scuff player of the game, though. That's Envoy, of course, taking the map victory. Frying back here in the web. Instantly in the lead, roughly. See the kill feed, of course, all that army green lighting up, but it was just double kill after double kill, and there was probably 2 or 3 moments you could have picked from Envoy during this, I was going to say series, but it's only 1 map. Envoy really just starting to heat up early. He's had his game fuel. He's ready to rock and roll. I'm interested to see what he brings for the S&D.
And you think of that play as well. That was the start of that clip was at the end of him breaking the hard point from behind. So he managed to fight his way through the front, get in from behind, pick up some more kills, and then he's in the hard point like, I've got time, and I'm going to get 3 more kills on top of that. Brilliant stuff, man. I mean, really, really strong stuff from Chicago so far. We can also show you, we have another clip coming up. It's the Envoy show right now. I mean, I don't call the the shots here, but if I had some kind of stake in the man, I'd certainly be racking it in right now. Envoy, we've got a clip from his ace from the other day as well. So he's had a fantastic Dallas home series. Envoy has just been tearing it up so far, Phil.
Yeah, I mean, incredible stuff. I pointed out during that map there, I even started to touch on Search and Destroy. The top 3 S&D players this weekend are Envoy, Blast, and Røkkr. Røkkr at a 1.6, Blast at a 1.8. Envoy is at a 2.64 ratio. But across the board, Envoy's 11th overall KD. You go across the hard point, he's near the top as well. Like he does it all. But his Search and Destroy is definitely something to watch out for. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen, we're heading to S&D. It's probably my favorite game mode. It's the tense 1 life rounds. And I will say, let's get into it.
Do you like that one, COD fans? We didn't give you the... Warning, didn't let you know what was going on. We broke the mold there, friends. We got you straight into the game. Off the rip, though, Frosty, that first blood for the Florida Mutineers. Not to be sneezed at as well. We've seen Piccadilly a few times now. Again, a favour the Huntsmen. Definitely one of the maps that they're more depth on, but at the same time, Florida, plenty to play for now.
Be a difficult one for sure. But again, Piccadilly. Very, very powerful. Now, again, we saw in Atlanta these two teams go all the way to Game 5. Search and Destroy was actually played on Arclock, Peak, and Gunrunner, so we didn't actually see anything on Piccadilly, so maybe we're going to be treated something different here. But as the kills do unfold, it's P2P, Formula and Scump versus Pharaoh, Morks, and Havoc. Numbers are against them here, Miles.
Cut away there, but the trades came through, so now it's a 1v1. Morks versus Scump. Scump's on the aggression, though, looking at making the wrap. He's actually going to be coming in behind Morks any second now, but Morks lane prone down there behind that concrete bollard. Scump's made the noise! Oh, peekaboo! Morks finds the kill. He was just a little impatient there. He took the shots there to top scaffold, trying to catch the player there through that sort of mesh. And Morks... didn't have to do too much there. He heard the shots come through, stood up. Scumpy made a fight of it, though. You know,
don't worry, I'm all caught up, guys.
With the shots there,
I don't know how that happened.
Still
I was talking about T2P and it was a 1v1, but all that matters is Florida took that one, and it was Morks with 2 that wins the round. Anyway, forget the past. It's all about the present and the future. 90 seconds back on the clock here. Morks on your screen now. I'm hoping I'm watching the correct feed here as Pharaoh, not 1 but 2. As he does his job for the round, he'll be happy with that, even though Formal takes him down.
Ooh. He did that from top buses as well. It's such a risky spot to be in. If nobody looks for it because everyone's trying to watch the crosses in and around the buses, that player up top, he really did have a great chance. He did get on point Scump, so answers back straight away. Formal was this man that managed to get it done. Ring out. Maybe a bit of a spot on the other side of the board. I believe it's Skies. Somebody else is running a snipe now for the Florida Mutineers. We don't have access to that information just yet, but the Skies doing what he can.
Yeah, beautiful stuff. But again, the Search and Destroys, it was close.
He's feeling himself right now in Formal downrange.
Bingo!
Finds the sniper, traded out immediately. Very efficient round there from Florida. 2-0.
Sorry, from Florida, closed it out 6-2. Piccadilly, I'm interested to see how this goes because those first 2 rounds have been pretty solid here from the Mutineers. We did, of course, get to see the Mutineers play throughout this weekend, and they've looked pretty hard at this S&D. You know, these guys have clearly been scratching up on their strategy, working, of course, with what they have to play with, and that's what you want to watch out for here. But 3-set grenades are going to go out as well as smokes here. Havoc finds 1. He's the one that we're watching. That grenade connects with Envoy and pushes through the smoke now, getting up close to aggressive. He's got Skies right by him. Frosty finds 1. He's going to be traded though as Havoc will fall. But again, Mutineers for a second there, having the numbers, they still will. There's 3-4 for the Huntsmen. Make it 4, and it's all up to Scump.
It's all to Scum. I mean, that position from Gunners on top buses, he made what he could of it. 1v3 though. He's on bomb. Comes to shots from Morks. Tough spot to be in for Scum. Here we go. The nade's out front. Looking to make good. A tag with the nade, and the shots were there, but Frosty just managed to catch the angle, slips up and about, gets the kill. Nice stuff there from the Mutineers. Their 3rd round in a row.
Okay,
I love
well,
it.
yes is the answer to something.
Merc, the answer is yes. I know you're
However,
watching.
moving
I probably
forward,
will, yes.
as the round ticks down, we're going to get
Don't
into
worry, mate.
round number 4. Huntsmen, though, they've started slow here. I know we've been treated to a lot of fantastic S&D plays, but so far, as these 3 rounds go, it's all Mutineers.
Ooh! Florida's nades are so good. Florida man throws explosive device across busy London street and destroys man at car, I suppose. Envoy trying to level the playing field. He and Gunless doing a bit of work there. Formal's out. There's no snipe now for this round for the Chicago Huntsmen. They are going to be arming the bomb. So here we go. Over to B. Arsty's trying to watch these players in the crossover. Pharaoh should have looked twice before crossing the street, my friend. There was an Arsty's right by the arcade. Envoy's about to do the same thing. Havoc, though, great job. Just coming out of the top of the subway there.
Feel the time it's
Underground,
ticking.
and he
Bomb
managed to
down,
catch
all
a
down
quick
to
kill.
Morg.
Now
Heated
push
round
over
for the
towards that
Huntsmen
bomb. 3 in Florida.
Morg's
Don't
trying
have
to
to
make
manage
an
bombs
upset.
right now.
Trying to do something a little bit wild on a 5-killing spree. As the time starts to tick away, I think he's kind of settled in for the night here. And he's actually going to get taken down by the MP5. It's the first round on the board for the Huntsman, and he much needed one at that. Okay, so hopping into the next round once more. The Mutineers will be on the offense. 90 seconds on the clock. Trying to wait for something special. Plenty of snipes going down. However, smokes are coming through. First blood always so important to have it. Staying prone, Arsty's is going to find that first blood. That's going to be onto Frosty. As Arsty's take around a little bit. Havoc, sneaky, will find another. Gunless trades things out, though. And as we do see, all the dead sounds to work with there. It wasn't to come through, and Mork's trying to almost penetrate through that door now. On the minimap, you can see the bomb this time edging towards A. Number 6, though, Formal. Out of position. He's, of course, just sat defending B, but he'll start to rotate round. That quickly. This could be strong for them, but a pickup position for Chicago, potentially. Long shot from Formal. Assault rifle in hand. Pharaoh does the exact same to Scum. 30 seconds left. Arsty's and Gunless versus just Skies now as Pharaoh will fall. I tell you what, it's good to see Arsty's and Gunless back on the same team. Bringing the chemistry back together. It's Arsty's who closes things out, and a beautiful round back-to-back here for the Huntsmen. 5 rounds done as we go into the 6th as well. You guys at home will be directing you through all the action here. I believe Miles is just making sure everything is up and running, but don't worry, we'll get the bearded Australian back for you on your screens as soon as possible. For now, just stick with me. My annoying English accent will hopefully not be too much to make your ears bleed as we hop into round number 6 here. Quick stat check across the board though. Everyone's pulling their weight for 3, 4 or 5 kills, so that's going to be number 5 for Havoc. Gunless shutting things down as soon as the trade comes in. Now at 4v4. Smoke goes out. With the sniper. It's Pharaoh. Puts one in the top pocket of Gunless. Formal does not find anything with that sniper as Skies will shut him down. With the number advantage here. Mutineers 4-2, make it 3 as Pharaoh goes revealed. Scum's gonna find another in this 4v2. He's down to a 2v2. Arsty's finds another, and this could be a 2v4 clutch here. This would be incredible to see from the Huntsman as Arsty's moves around, slips and slides, and the 2v4 from Scump and Arsty's does come through. That could be the momentum swinger in this game, and now tied at number 3. Incredible stuff from the Huntsman, and kind of wild to see there. I think Arsty's was actually stuck in a position. His location was revealed, but manages to come out on top. Round 7 coming up next here as it goes back and forth, it seems. 3 for the Mutineers, 3 for the Huntsmen.
let's just see how this one pans out. Smoke goes down. Skies has already found that first blood. Ferro will find the second. Explosion in the city of London right now. There's another fantastic start here, but a 2v4 just went down for the Huntsmen. They're in another 2v4 now, and guess who it is? It's Scump and Arsees again. Will history, excuse me, repeat itself? Surely not. Actually, a great grenade. Not great enough. 2v4 to 2v2. Deja vu. Hello? Have I even woken up? Groundhog Day. Is it a real thing? I don't know. I'm losing my mind a little bit. I'm missing the Australian man himself. Miles, where are you? Come back to me. 30 seconds on the clock, though, as Ferro will fall. A 2v4 for Scump and Arsees in round number 6. And a 2v4 potentially in round number 7. Back to back, but does Skies have something to say about it? The bomb is down. And Arsees clutches up. I am never ever gonna try and break T to P, but for the past 2 rounds, it's been Arsees filling in for Formal. My goodness, those two, the redheads combine for 2 rounds, 2v4, and incredible stuff. And I don't know what is going on, but the Huntsmen are upsetting the Mutineers. Just a quick first blood check for you, by the way. It is 6 first bloods for Florida. Only 1 for the Huntsmen. Teamplay Formal has put that sniper away. See what the 2 players of the Huntsmen have today, and one of them has a bomb which seems to be going down alongside a trophy system. Bomb is down, and objective work has been done. However, his life over that. In fact, did the bomb go down? It didn't. Bingo is his name, and Ferro takes the head clean off the gunless. Now, they've lost a 2v4 twice in a row. I know I've chimed on about it. This is going to be a 2v5. Mutineers, if you can hear me, hello, answer the phone. Don't throw this round away. You've thrown 2 already. They are now 7 kills to their name.
10.
They are going to close out
8,
this round. Yes,
7,
Ferro, Skies, and
6,
Havoc each
5,
pick up 2 first
4,
bloods,
3,
which really
2,
should be the
1.
deciding factor of the game. That's how they're going. We all know why it's working for it. Scump and Arsees going clutch when it matters.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fun fact for you guys. About 5 years ago, solo casting was a real thing. Thank goodness it isn't anymore. However, Miles is going to be getting back on board with us soon. We're just getting some tense difficulties.
May your move slow down.
You'll be able to give your ears and
Say that again, man. Sorry, Phil's going
And
at me
first
in 1
blood.
hit. Say again.
has Strucken Joshiat as 25 seconds passes.
Copy. So you'll move me across.
Number 9. One boy looking down those sights, trying to find someone on the cross. It looks like it's going to be a B push for the Mutineers. Make that 8. Make that a 3rd for Skies. Florida somehow don't win the search. Modeling. Chicago, of course, won the You missed a great one. Envoy taken out by the team shot. Skies is going to find another, and surely this is a clean sweep here. The Mutineers shutting things down. Skies, headshot after headshot. Haircut after haircut. We all need one right now, but the Mutineers, a clean sweep in round number 9 and pushing forward. They need one more round here to go.
One more round, you say, mate?
Oh,
one more
here
round.
he is. Oh, you decided to join me, have you, Miles?
Well, better late than never. What round are we at? Give me a recap, quick.
It's round number 10. Mutineers have got 8 first bloods. Scump and Arsees have got 2 2v4s. Incredible game. Have you got your beard oil? Whatever you disappeared for? I'm kidding. I know there was technical difficulties. However, Miles, we're back. Can you see what's going on?
You are a rancid troll, and I love you, mate. Let's go. This has been a cool one. I've watched every second of it. This has been a great series. Off, mate. 4 and 9, sadly, but hey, I'll let you play for a moment, mate. Skies 11 and 7. How's that gone down?
I mean, Skies has got 3 first bloods. He's been taking heads like it's candy. And And with 60 seconds left, I think this is a search and destroy, in all honesty, that Mutineers, they deserve to win. The clutch factor's been there for the Huntsmen, and the Redheads in particular, but apart from that, Mutineers look so solid. However, is around 11 looming, or are we going to see this closed out by the Mutineers? And the bomb. Just going to tag these guys, and he's going to have to wiggle away with his tail between his legs for now.
Seems all fine. Frosty finds that first blood. All good to go now, friends. There's 20 seconds left on the game. As that bomb's going to be quickly going down here. Gunless covered close though by 2 of his teammates. Frosty and Co now making their way forward. It's that slow and steady push towards the bombs. Not a lot of room to work with for them. Skills count quickly. And here we go. Havoc goes straight in. Finds that first one onto Arsteed's blistering speed. Cuts him down. Gunless trying to answer back. He does indeed. Envoy finds a kill of his own. Envoy with a second kill as well. That's absolutely tremendous. Morks now. It's a 2v1. Envoy has to back on up with 20 seconds on the bomb.
It was a 2v5 and it nearly did it, but it ain't gonna happen. I want to see the better. I want to say the better team won. I think Huntsmen had such incredible moments in that, but every single round was started by Mutineers. I feel like they threw 2 rounds away, and honestly, Huntsmen were gifted a couple of those kills, but the Mutineers, Search and Destroy and Piccadilly, I tell you what, Skies, Pharaoh, these guys are nuts.
Yeah, insane. I mean, this is kind of the Huntsmen. Oh, sorry, this is the Florida Mutineers I do want to be seeing here in these Search and Destroys. I do want to be seeing them popping off like this. This is it's been a bit of a surprise to nonetheless to see that sort of 6-0 come through yesterday. But I feel like that really, you know, it shook the cobwebs out. It really got them back into the swing of things. And there you go, friends. The Chicago Huntsmen. They lose the Search 6-4. Florida bounce back, and now we're at 1-1 in this series. And hey, man, I feel like I missed a very cool Search and Destroy. I'm not gonna lie, Phil. I'm a little disappointed. Not gonna lie to you, mate. But you handled it very well.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Miles. I will say it would have been kind of crazy casting through those incredible 2v4s with Scump and Arstees. But all in all, it just means we've got a series on our hands for the semi-final. Last time in Atlanta, it was a reverse sweep. However, here at the Dallas homestand, it is 1-1. Coming up after the break, it is going to be domination. Hopefully, Miles has sorted all his tech issues out. Guys, get a quick snap. We'll be back after this quick break. We'll see you then.
Call of Duty League is brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Stay connected to what matters most with the best value in wireless. Scuff Gaming, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. We have our US Army tactical play, hot to trot, locked and loaded and ready to roll. It was, of course, from that last Search and Destroy, and it was a humdinger, friends. And for those of you wondering what the numbers mean, you'll have to DM me to find out. This was, of course, a Scump and Frosty play, which was a fantastic run of things. It was Frosty's win on that round, which really made the difference there for the Florida Mutineers, who, of all things, Phil, have managed to bounce back in a big way here in this series.
Yeah, honestly, Miles, play of the game, whatever you want to highlight. I'm just glad you're back. That's really difficult doing that on my own. I went quite a few times. And then, honestly, it was it's nice just to have you back. I'm glad you've sorted out whatever those numbers may mean. Who knows? However, from the Huntsman to the Hunted, a couple of stats and more numbers on your screen here. Of course, Florida leads in the head-to-head series 1-0, and that, of course, was in the semi-final at Atlanta. Technically, got another semi-final right here. Are they going to be the Hunted once more, though? After watching that, after seeing the dominant Search and Destroy, Miles, what are your feelings over this series so far?
Dude, my feelings are of elation, of slight disappointment, missing out on the Search, man. It was a banger, but at the end of the day, I just think that we've got two teams who, we've got a clear-cut favorite in the form of the Huntsmen, but Florida have just continued to prove time and time again that you can't look past them, you cannot let anything slip, and I think that's one of the greatest downfalls of the Chicago roster is that they know they're top of the mountain right now. They know that they're a very strong team. They've got wins under their belt and they've got high expectations for themselves. If they give anyone a chance, if they overlook anyone, I feel like they let things get by that really shouldn't. So that's one of the worries I've got right now is that they think they should be taking Florida online, especially with this new roster with Pharaoh. Now all of a sudden you're looking at a situation where they're tied up 1-1 in the series. Straight into the Dom we go, baby. Let's get into this. And who knows, man? This could be very, very different.
Yeah, look at the route Morgan is taking here. Interesting. I know. Assault Rifle just trying to cross over, not watch anything mid-map. But as we jump into the domination, a quick check here that I wanted to do was the actual domination stat between these two teams. But last time they played it was St. Petro, and yeah, it was Florida who took this one. This was kind of almost the swinging map in the series. It felt like, obviously, with the reverse sweep happening in the semi-final. 45-point lead, I believe, at the end, or 46-point lead. We'll see if Chicago can do anything different on Hackney. And again, we're going to Hackney. Interesting to see how Formal plays, of course, whether we'll be rocking that MP5 or is that.
Changes, Phil.
We're going through changes. We are, Miles. I tell you what. It's very different.
We've got plenty of songs that feature changes in the title. That's a lot of fun to work with. Still, though, as we go towards B and C now, in the hands of Mutineers for the time being. Sneaky Asties just waits for the house to be empty before he slips in, and he's grabbing that B flag slowly but surely. Envoy just winning that A flag. Still has one more player to take care of. From up high, Pharaoh takes care of it. Formal now trying to reinforce the position at B. And what do we see time and time again here on Hackney Yard? We see in an A and a B. C is sort of, I want to say, also said the red-headed stepson, but that's not something I can say these days. It's more like it's the unwanted love child of the other flags that you don't really want to be sticking around. So what we're doing is we're aiming for an A and a B hold. We're trying to keep the opposing team trapped in there at C. Make sure they don't rotate through green. Do your best job, right? Do the very best you can, Phil. Is that what is happening right now to Florida?
I think so, and I think obviously Sky started off so strong. He's got 8 kills to his name, 4 in the kill feed, along with Pharaoh adding to the 5th, and his M4 is just on point. Going into CDL Sunday, though, the two top players in domination currently sit with RC and Gunless. In 4th, though, it is going to be Morg. So again, we've got some high-caliber players, and that's why it is the semi-final that you see today. These players have been going off all weekend long. However, right now, Florida have 2 flags to the good. We've got a 15-point lead. It's looking very, very strong here. But the Mutineers, they're going to break 40 shortly. Envoy trying to get onto B and
Pharaoh's bottom L.
Frosty got me green.
We're spawning close. I spawned last.
Bigger Tom, wait.
Big one.
Big one.
Stacks their door.
Dex, kill
Yeah,
him.
left side.
Bottom
Dead.
out.
Once they're
Got
gone,
the
they're
door,
dead.
got the
They
door,
got
bottom out.
the door.
Yep, hide. Don't on it, guys.
I'm on A, I'm on A. Green spawn.
I'm on green, I'm on green, I'm on
Yeah,
green.
he's fire chance.
Got back to you.
Got me.
I got that
Green
behind
crate,
you.
I got me.
They
Scat got
spawn
me.
green. He spawned 10. They spawned 10.
Spawning green, back. 2A?
Yeah, one's green crate, green
One
crate.
could be
Bottom
here.
of the
Yeah,
box.
green crate. Yeah, we have to go green crate before we can do anything.
You got me, got me. Top car, got me. Top car.
Green crate's not peeking.
I need him.
Top out, good
Go.
ball.
Top
Big
fire,
one.
top
Good job.
fire.
I do shoot
Go bottom out
together.
again.
Middle dead.
Go bottom
Guys,
out
me
again.
too.
Don't see him bottom out. Don't see him bottom out.
I hope you guys
Nothing
Try to
close,
get in the
nothing
B,
close
guys.
either.
Try to get in the B.
I'm trying to hit mid off.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Nothing
Scat
close,
got
nothing
me.
close right.
I'm
Nothing
out.
close right.
I'm not base here.
Top's gas. Peeking.
I'm looking
Not
at
peeking.
Scat.
In two and hot, two and
Just
hot.
Just wait.
Let's do another.
Head your finish.
On mid.
Saying my gun.
Cut.
Saw it on the door, man.
Bottom L.
Got one bottom out.
So one.
Two
Good
bottom
job.
out.
Two.
Starting my middle, starting my
Yeah,
middle.
here.
We're good.
He's flash my top out, flash my top
Uh,
out.
Going bottom.
Top eight, top eight.
Top AC for you.
Top eight, got me.
Gonna wait it for you.
We're good.
Yeah, one's
Got
bottom
got me.
We're good.
In bottom.
The only thing I know for absolute certain from past teams is disgusting. 12 and 8, and you saw that two-piece from Top L. That was unreal, man.
Yeah, I mean, certainly showcasing his assault rifle skills, and I know there's been a lot of talk of who should be running it and whatnot. The team's decided Alec is the man. One thing I will say is domination. It's a very punishing game. We both know that with these short 5-minute rounds, if you can hold a 2-cap or a 2 in neutral for a minute, you know, that can almost be the win right there. A team and the rotation, the way you've got 5 professional players going at it, you've got to trade a lot of these kills. It's very hard to kind of flip a game on its head. So I will say credit to the Mutineers. They broke 90 points, which you don't see a lot of the time in one-sided domination. But Huntsmen are going to end the half with 2. That's going to be BNC in their control. However, going into the next 5 minutes, they are going to be at a deficit. It's going to be a tough ask to see them come back in this one, but they certainly have the skill and the willpower to do so.
You're so right in the skill and the willpower department. The shame is for the Huntsmen right now is, man, they ended the way they really meant to be in that round as well. So hard to break the 2-cap, but Florida, man, that start to the scoreline really shows it. Proper again, skies. We were talking about it during the listening amongst ourselves. He is such a disgusting player, whether it's online, whether it's on land. I mean, he just has this game down pat, my friends. And second half of domination now underway with a sizable lead to work with for the Florida Mutineers. If they can maintain the pressure now, spawning on the favorable side of the map, spawning on the A side, where they want to be here on Hackney Yard, this could be a good win for them here.
Well, here we go. 5 minutes on the clock. And what Huntsman needs is a strong start. What have they got? Not that. We've seen Florida breach in, and I tell you what, it is kind of known that this side, of course, will kind of be rewarded with that lead. But strong positioning of Skies up top now with that M4, but they're down by around 30 points. It is still doable, of course. A long way to go in this. A triple cap for a minute, and you're right back in this one. But the M4s have Mulks and Skies laying down the law right now. The Mutineers, they're running away with this domination. They're looking fantastic at it, Miles. I will say, these guys, whether it's a semi-final or Huntsman, whatever, something is working for them right now.
Definitely working out. Skies has been working out. 9 and 8 for him, 11 and 8 for Morks, 14 and 9 going their way. Another slow one from Formworks, 13. These guns have all been sort of slammed the brakes on right now as Pharaoh is having his way on top L here. This is a great position to be in again. Being able to defend that B position from the inside and the outside of the warehouse. As you can see, down handedly. Now the play starts to develop towards B. They're trying to clear out Havoc with Havoc made safe. Now you've got a clear lane to run through from mid-man. However, on the other side of the board, Pharaoh's just spawned out like courtyard side by Yellow. So has Havoc. They're now spawning on the bottom left-hand side of the map, right next to the C flag because of the flip now happening towards A. It's going to be a change of flags, Phil, but does it matter too much right now? Because Florida just seem to be in so much control. No one's dealing with the C push. They're having a bit of trouble handling the Floridians over there towards by A, just underneath the light rail there, friends. But yeah, it's just been an interesting map so far. Florida having their way with the Huntsmen right now.
128 and 80. The numbers are going certainly in the favour of the Mutineers. As time ticks away, Miles is only getting more punishing for them. But as Skies locks down the Lord's top L, may be the Lord right now, is the way he's playing. It's a very hard warehouse to break into. There's trophies, there's gunfire. It all seems a little too much, and the kill feed once again go into Mutineers. Skies is 21 and 10.
Pharaoh 21 and 14. It's a struggle bus here for Huntsmen. And I tell you what, I don't know which direction that bus needs to go to change this one around.
Now this is starting to get ugly. Oh, this is it's not quite Quasimodo. It's more like the big dude from the Goonies have already got first and very few, hopefully. A and B still in the hands of the Huntsmen now, but look at that Florida pushing from behind. They've got nothing. Mort's cutting these players coming out of A, and I don't know how much longer he can keep this up. Oh, knives out. Coming from behind, Envoy! Gonna cut him down. That's gonna make it a little bit more safer for the Huntsmen. They did not win the fight over towards B. My apologies. So now we're gonna be seeing the struggle bus turn it around, Phil. I'm not sure if they can. A play towards C right now from Formal actually maybe what the Huntsmen need right now. 2 minutes on the clock though. This is a big score line to be working with for the Huntsmen. We need a trip cap and we need it now.
Yeah, exactly that. They need a trip cap. They need to do it now. There's 2 minutes on the clock, 36 points per minute. They're down by nearly 60. It needs to be almost perfect play from the Huntsmen. And the way that the Mutineers are playing right now, I'm just going to say, it ain't going to happen. The Mutineers just seem to be able to lock down one flag at least, let alone two. They've been doing it for the past 8 minutes or so as A is going to change hands once more. Look at that minimap. A is under full control. They're battling back and forth for B as well. But I will say the Mutineers have put on a showcase for us here how to play domination. Talked about the KDs of our season Gunless, top 2 in the league right now for this weekend, and this weekend alone at 1.72 and 1.38. But really, it's been a team effort from the Mutineers, and this domination with just 72 seconds left, it's looking very, very solid.
Yeah, I mean, they've really played this well. I mean, they've kept that A control, they've stacked their numbers heavily for the plays coming out of this as and when they've happened, and they've cut the plays off really well. So they've managed to keep the heat off the important areas of the map, doing the best job they possibly can at making sure that any disaster is across to Florida. This has worked out in a big way for them. Now for the Huntsmen, though, you're taking a breath and find kills here and there. You can drain hot, and you just think, give me that hard. Give me map 4 right now. I'm ready to go. This is a tough one for us. Shake it off. Get into the next map, and that's exactly what they were doing in about 30 odd seconds time. But still, major props there to the Mutineers. Pharaoh, once again, with 30 kills, 20 deaths to his name. Brilliant stuff. They certainly had slowed down the Huntsmen, Phil. The final 20 now, and we're going to be seeing the trip caps come through. They're just making the stats look. They're just making the stats look better. This is what happens.
Every flag is changing hands right now, but yeah, it's time to sit back and just go. You know, what have we just seen here? We've seen a very convincing victory. Mutineers, again, 25 and 14 for Morks. Sky's 28th kill of the game. He just seems so comfortable. I know there were rumors of Maniac subbing in for Skies this morning. Of course, I'm only joking. That is why it is never going to happen, because Skies is an absolute machine. Your pick was on board. My pick was Skies, and I tell you what I am glad about is both of them kind of showing how good they are in individual match and local. Miles, we currently sit 2-1. To the Mutineers. They're one map away from going all the way.
They're going to keep that record against the Huntsmen clean so far. You can't be disappointed as a Florida fan. I will say it's a bit of an upset for me. I'm not gonna lie. The way the Huntsmen have looked so far, especially here in the Dallas home series, has been pretty sweet, if you ask me. But hey, man, this is the way the cookie crumbles. Right now, Chicago just got to bounce back. There's a few more maps in the series that they can possibly take. Again, the hard point, the first one, was a bit of a blowout. It wasn't like with anyone on Florida really stood a chance. The breaks again were clean. The rotations may have gone their way, but Chicago had the hard point. Can they repeat that now? They're going to desperately need it in order to force that game 5, where again the search felt a little closer. 6-4 in Piccadilly. The record that I believe we have so far for Chicago versus Florida.
Yeah.
Again, they lost in the game 5, but they're a solid search team. They know what they're doing here. So force the game 5 for Chicago, and then you'll be looking fine. There's your stats, boys and girls. Give me the hard point.
It's just wild to me because I think I'm one of, a formal fan, if you like, and to kind of see the certain maps and modes just kind of not go his way this weekend. He's undergone a whole different role. You see him rocking the MP5 there and going 12 and 25, dealing the least damage of the Huntsman. What I'm saying is not a dig at Formal, but he's always the one that he's going to drop that damage. He's going to be at the top of the kills. And he's been consistently enough over the past, 3, 4, 5 years or whatever it may be. This is a very different Huntsman with this role change. And it's hard to kind of watch because who doesn't love to see Formal go off? T2P being their best. We'll have to, of course, see whether he can turn it around the hard point. But
It's interesting to see this new dynamic for sure, Miles.
Indeed. I'm glad you brought up damage. We will be taking a look at the PS4 damage dealt leaderboard in just a moment. I think, or maybe not the leaderboard, but just Skies, man. Skies, who has been your favorite player right now, Phil, the guy you picked for your Grubhub pick of the day, and he really has been the pick right now. Nom indeed, as he has just been eating up these players. Again, an interesting, as far as the damage dealt goes, Skies is your boy. Look at that, right up top. 1,603 damage? Dude, he's the guy who... He's an interesting player as well, man. For a while, I think he was one of the few ARs running FMJ on his M4 class setup. I'm not sure what he was getting rid of. Maybe the grip, the rear grip for that one. But yeah, the man's got some intel. He knows things that some of us don't. So I'm going to be picking that brain on Twitter a little bit later on after I get through the TikTok videos. But hey, man, not a bad run so far for Florida, Phil. Now we go into another hard point. Do you see Chicago bouncing back and forcing the game 5 here?
I really do, and I don't want to just use this as an excuse, kind of going back to them previously playing this head-to-head, because last time they played this was the only map and mode combination that was repeated from the series in Atlanta. This one ended 250 to 241. Like, we're talking 9 points. You can't really pick that as they won it last time, they're going to win it again here. But I think this is a map where Formal can use the M4, and I don't know whether there's a long-term change. I'm just excited to see how this Huntsman team adapting and go forward. I do want to just see quickly what Formal is using. I know we've got an awesome, wonderful team of observers who are bringing us all the action. Shout out to those guys as well. Hopefully, we see Formal with the M4, and if he's rocking that, they don't really lose many hours.
Yeah, this is something we're seeing quite a lot now on Azir Cave. Maybe 2, maybe even 3 M4s being long lines of sight. Assault rifle players certainly have a very, very good time. It looks like Mork, Skies, Ferro all running M4s as well when it comes to the other side from Florida. They're able to fight for the center of the map here. Formal is not losing any of those gunfights. Down low, big shots. Frosty just doubled in, man. It's normally bad manners, but right there, he got a mouthful. Brilliant stuff from Frosty to get that kill down low. Now you have to watch that cave rotation as well. So what we're doing now is we're fighting for control of the next cave. Of course, Cave West. Sorry, Cave East, excuse me. I have compasses. I forget how they work. It's not something we use that often in Britain. But Cave East, that right-hand side of the map, that's what we're going to be fighting over right now. In Chicago, with a solid amount of control the inside of the cave, but what they need to be doing is worrying about that player, number 9, Ferro, making that rotation far to the right-hand side of the cave. That's where the spawns are, so got to watch out. This kill is huge. RCTs knows it, and he wins that one in a big way. Got to keep that space open while they keep racking up that half-point. Good stuff there from the Huntsmen.
Huntsmen, of course, sitting 10-1 in their series score. However, that 1 is, of course, to Florida. Pushing on forward, 25-21 as we see the cave hard point pop. This is going to be a hard one to actually break on through for the Huntsmen. But if it's anything like Gunrunner, they may break in look easy at points. However, Onboy with the double. Gunless finds one. Skies and Havoc trading things out. It's going to be the Huntsmen pushing them back, though. We're going to see Mutineers still have this spawn, but is it going to be enough?
Here we go. Florida Mutineers on the push. Let's have a very quick Astro Gaming listen in with the Florida Mutineers.
Nice, good shit. Stay down.
One's front and one's underpass.
Absolute Dylan front.
Nice. Nice, good up. 16, get
Keep
that.
up. Oh, one shot. There's two of them.
Get that. Another one. Get that.
He's in the smoke. He's in the smoke.
Smoke dead.
Is that time?
Yep.
Go around here. I'm gonna
No, we should throw smoke underpass.
I don't see anything fence. Watch the fence.
One's dead.
Shot yellow. Yellow,
Top
dead.
broken, top
I got
broken.
need the fence.
Be another one yellow. Nothing else yellow.
Broken.
Top broken. One behind y'all fence.
Kill weak.
Yeah,
He's
I
weak
can't.
on hill, push him.
Lot of fences on me.
Push hill.
I don't know where you went.
Almost top net. Almost
Yo,
top net.
fences,
yellow.
Got one in.
Fences. Keep nothing
Down
in
in hill, yeah.
One's
Yeah,
yellow.
helping you.
I need help in hill. He's right side. Take it right side.
Yeah, right window. One shot in the right corner.
Top hill.
Heavy up top.
Top hill.
We're going to do. They're going to do. Rotate, rotate.
One God spot top.
I
need help.
Close right corner spawn. Close right corner hill. Go new. They're gonna pitch all the way around.
One dead. Two it all.
Well. In the back. You got it.
I'm gonna be pitching for sure.
Mid
One
test.
deep.
Give it up.
Don't see this guy in the back.
Get the time.
Solid starts here from the Huntsman, and again, you see what happens when Former runs an AR. 11-6 for him, 11-6 for us. 4 players are feasting. Cave. Have it up close on the cave here. This is what you want to be seeing. That's a nice two-piece from him. Absolutely. Cuts through those players from the Huntsman. Now, Phil, good look here in Cave West.
Yeah, certainly so. With 35 seconds left, this is a great lockdown. Havoc, though, seems like he's got everything under control. He finds another kill. Will finally go down to Arcees. That's a headshot coming through here. And the M4 is formal. Peek around trying to find Frosty. However, Peekaboo, hello, welcome to my cave. Frosty says he takes down Formal and Scum. Tita P will have to respawn for another life, but Arcees is left all alone. We are going to see the Huntsmen take in those final 13. I'll tell you what, man, it's going to be a pretty much tied game as we go into the next hard point. But it is, of course, already been locked down by the Mutineers.
Yeah, watch out for that push now towards the back of the map, that cliff face. I think Clint calls it outpost. That's the box there where the hard point sits, and that's where you want to see dive in, have a try to push the back end. It's a little bit of help with this team inside of the cave. Pushing the underpass area of the map, but that's not got too much love just yet. Shots coming through. Guns has managed to get a little closer just before being cut down there by that hail of gunfire as RCTs tries to pick up the pieces. Difficult spot to be in for RCTs, but he's making the most of it. Keeps them safe from nades. Take care of that player in that top broken Pharaoh. Overwatching the entire line of sight. That push towards the hard point. It's on Pharaoh to keep those players back.
109 plays 81 with 5 points here, and of course 25 as well, because it's different when you play Cave as well. The start of the very hard point map is very scrappy towards the middle. However, the middle of the hard point, or the first hard point, let's say, is one you can actually lock down on the second and the third rotation because of the spawns. So keep your eyes on that. You'll start to see these green arrows now rotate around and try and pin back the Mutineers in the cave. It's obviously doable, but they are going to sacrifice the last couple of seconds. We're going to see 129 for the Mutineers. So we're going to see this pin in cave though. Are they going to be able to break on out? Here we go. Pharaoh on your screen. These teammates are falling on flies. He ain't going to join him just yet, though. Arcees will drop.
He's not going to join him yet, no. Arcees hard point straight to his. Unfortunately, with absolutely everyone there. Skies finds 3. Envoy through the smoke. The quick fire gets it done. 10 and 17 for Envoy, a little slow for him. The hard point hasn't exactly been his friend either, but here we go. The first hard point, once again, for the second set of rotations we go. Holding on to this for as long as we possibly can. Nice pick there on the Envoy. He chooses the gunfight he wants to have, not the one that straight away. Again, we are watching slowly but surely claw their way back as the Huntsmen do what they can. The final 15 seconds in this first build. That rotation over towards the next cave, still in the hands of the Mutineers.
Plenty of time still to go. And as you start to see this rotation here, we saw it on the first side. The Mutineers had it. They had the spawns. Formal. Arcees were pushing them back. But again, caught from the same spot. It's Havoc again, I think. In fact, correct me. It was Morks there sat in that sneaky corner. You got to check your corners here when you're pushing round. But going back to the original point, I was trying to make Mutineers for the second time now have had Cave. And this can be a bit of a money hill. There's 45 seconds left, Miles. If Huntsmen don't break this, they could be down by a deficit of around 80 points. It's a troubling time here for the Huntsmen. They're already 2-1 down. This is a semi-final. Is this a time to be worried if you're a Huntsmen fan?
I think you got to be worried for Huntsmen at this point in time. I mean, the whole team is doing great setup here on Cave East. Whatsoever, there will be 2 members of the Guardians. The other 2 are hitting rotation for the next hard point. Look at number 6. Morks is gone. He's on the minimap, far left-hand side. He's ready to rock and roll for the soccer field. He's ready to rock and roll for Cave West. Like, he's nowhere involved in this gunfight whatsoever. The Huntsmen have been kept back. They have been held at bay by Florida here. 171 leading 119. This is a difficult situation to be in right now for the Huntsmen. You have to see those ARs start popping off. Clean out the soccer field. Go for that 2-footed tackle. Get the red card. Nobody cares right now. You've got to make something special happen. And this is what we want to be seeing. Envoy first line of defense. Going for the cleanup. Does get it there right on a Pharaoh. Do what they can to keep Florida out of the point.
It's all about a potential 8-point deficit. They keep it down to just 50 and they're closing that gap. They have control here. Smokes galore going down though. Jumping from above, Frosty, good luck. Respawn and try again here, because Skump's on your screen. He's found 2. He's going to find a 3rd. He's a maniac on a mission here, and the dead silence still popping. He's still going. This man is on a mission. What? No, you've run out of bullets, Scump. I tell you what, that would have been probably 6 or 7 in a row as Scump trying to get back Huntsman into this game as we rotate once again to Cave. But rotation, it is all what Hardpoint is about. And the Mutineers, they're there first again.
And it's going to be played like that to keep the Huntsmen in this alive and kicking. Scum may have the record right now for kills in a hardpoint, 25 and 21. He's just starting to build steam. Havoc holding down that same position he had in the first set of the Cave West hardpoint you saw. And this was a very, very strong hardpoint there for the Mutineers. You can see them lined up already, working both sides. The back now is open for the Huntsmen. They can now hit the back of the cave, but Envoy punches his way right through the front, finds himself two. Watch the play on the back now from Gunless. It's a pair for him as well. The Huntsmen have ripped the door wide open. The cave is theirs. Got to hold the back line now, though. 35 seconds to be had, and this is a great chunk of time. They can do this here. They can pull this game back.
And the important thing, Miles, is they're getting only the scrap time, but also look at those two players rotating back. This could be back-to-back hills, which they can really soak up. And the 80-point deficit I talked about, it ain't even in question anymore. We're about to have a lead change with the three players. Havoc pushing on forward. Morgs is going to find himself a wild Arcees. Arcees is going to go down, and as Chaos is looming, Havoc, the only one in and amongst the enemy, he's found one. I believe he's going to stun the second, but Formal still alive, still kicking, and he's going to do a great job here for the Huntsmen of keeping those back spawns, or even just testing the Mutineers, trying to find him.
Oh, Frosty, just about time. As you saw that Formal rising up there, that M4, the barrel facing towards him, and it would have been curtains for him, but this is good. Florida, you got to bounce back here in a big way. Sky's in that power position up high, will be taken down there by Formal. Watch that hard point still in the hands of Florida. Once again, on the first set, they had the run. Here we go. The Skycam showing the advance now from the Huntsman rather, onto Florida. And they're going to be cut down. Envoy gets in close, finds one. Very difficult to trade out there. But Gunless on his belly, making his way forward. We're in the business end of the game now. It won't end here. But can we see a break from the Huntsman? This would be huge for them.
Yeah, it certainly would be. Envoy somehow stuck through, wiggled his way, found two, but talking to two is Havoc on your screen, and he's going to find himself a cheeky double here, as does Skies, and 201 to 224. We're going back to the middle. We're going back to a position which we've seen go back and forth, and this is going to be an important one, to say the least. Mutineers and Florida are in a potential of ending it right here, but Scum has other ideas. He's got 28 kills to his name and a rotation round. He might be going through the doggy door, undecided it seems at this moment in time. But the Mutineers, they're almost setting up for the one after this. A very smart play here, but someone needs to get the time.
I mean, everyone knows that this is the hard point you can win it on. I mean, both teams could put themselves in great spots right now. Florida, obviously, with a 25 points for the win here. This is to knock Chicago out of the tournament. This is Dallas home series. Good night for them if they don't turn this around. The contest now from Frosty on point. Watch those arrows now circulate. Try to find the angle. Play this one slow. Go for the opening kill. It's going to be Formal. The trade there is immediate. But again, keep that pressure on. Make sure the contest is still there. This is working out in favor right now for the Mutineers. They have the lead. They have the hard point. And number 0, Havoc. He's got spawns for next as well.
I don't know whether Havoc spawned there or he rotated around just one of his team spawns, but that is the game changer right here. Arcees, though, he recognizes it. That assault rifle, you're the AR player that you've been called upon. We are going to be going to the cave. A 5-kill streak now for Scum. They need to break this. They need to do it now. But Havoc on your screen, MP5 in hand. Again, Mutineers for the 3rd time in a row. They have the spawns for Cave East.
Crazy right now for Havoc, and the play is right. 10 seconds now for the win. This is for Florida to find themselves in a spot in the grand final to keep the slate clean against the Huntsmen. 28 and 27 now for Skies. He makes his way forward. Frosty has been the man of the map right now. He's got himself 38 kills and they've still got the time. Mork's trying to find something here, but again, the Huntsmen have pushed them out. They've managed to break the hard point for now, but you've got to keep the spawners out from the back. Scumpy with the kills. They just keep on coming. Now the push from Florida. Envoy in the back. The shots are there, but they've got onto the point with that one. The Florida Mutineers have done it. 3-1. And they find themselves a spot in the grand final here of the Dallas home series. Oh boy. Man, that is a stinger.
Prestini or no Prestini right now, the Mutineers have 1 over, make it 2 over on the Huntsmen, and semi-finals seems to be when they're starting to flourish. They're going to book themselves a spot in that grand final, and Huntsmen, again, it's just got to be frustrating at this point to go through what you've just gone through, to kind of be battled back and pushed back in the domination in that kind of fashion, and then go to that hard point. They had the lead for a little bit as well, but it just got a little out of hand, and 3 rotations in a row onto Cave was where it was really lost, Miles.
It's so hard, man. The rotations on Cave are so difficult. I just wanted to bring up there the stats board. I mean, Frosty had 38 kills. 2 of the players on his team also dropping 30 bombs. I mean, this is an incredibly high-killed game for the Florida Mutineers. Whoa, unreal scenes.
And again, it was the assault rifles we had to talk about. We spoke at the start where, yes, Formal can use an AR, but for the Mutineers, you actually touched base on it. We had a 3 AR setup. It was Morg, Skies, and Pharaoh rocking those ARs. Pharaoh with a +2, Skies with a +2, and KDs and everything. But these guys were putting big numbers up. Ironically, it was Frosty with that MP5, 38 kills, 7 assists. This guy was a bit of a mad one, on a loose one, shall we say.
The bad boy Bergstrom.
Yeah, bad boy Bergstrom. I like that a lot. Frosty, though, will be finding himself in his second grand final. The CDL Dallas homestand, of course. We say goodbye to the Huntsmen in a wild fashion. But an incredible semi-final, Miles. And I believe that does it for myself and for you. What a game.
Crazy game. Now we get to jump in the chat and be fans for the rest of the day. Unbelievable scenes. The Florida Mutineers will be in the grand final. Who will they play? We'll find out after this break.